Afternoon, what's up, y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, and you already know how I do. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This video needs to reach a lot of people because it's going to be centered on the topic of being able to express your emotions. A lot of us in the world have been judged for being who we are, starting from a young child. So it's really hard for us to express our emotions to people. We hide them and we stuff them in and we don't really express it. And that leads to a lot of damage that can be done on one's soul. Now, again, you have to find the right people to be able to release your emotions to. People that love you for who you are. Not because you dress nice, not because you got on the latest fashion, not because you got money, not because you drive in the latest car, not because you got the fat ass house. Because they love you and who you are as a person. Because even though we may be at some point in our life where things are leveling out, everybody is not on that same level. Some people are behind, some people are above. So we have to understand that our level of judgment towards someone else, because they're not on the level we're on, is based off of our own insecurities. Because if a person is comfortable enough to come to you and tell you about a situation they're facing or something they're going through, yeah, they might tell you, hey, you hurting yourself. But also they're going to have some understanding to understand that everybody's not at the same level. You got to be able to take their love for you as the reason why they feel like that's unsafe and why you shouldn't be doing that. But at the same time, their love for you also understands that we all fall short sometimes of ourselves. Nobody is perfect. Everybody falls short of themselves sometimes. It's just the way the dice roll. But a lot of us from childhood have been picked at and nitpicked and, put down and told we shouldn't make these certain choices. So we make choices based off of what other people feel we should make. And that's not always the case because you are you. You're only coming from your own level of understanding. You have to get around the people that genuinely love you for who you are. And you can test that by going broke. You can test that by not having the latest fashion. You can test that by being homeless at some point. You could test that by not having a car. And you'll be able to see who's really for you. For you, though. Not for the material gain, not for the things you had. And then once you figure that level surface out, you'll be able to confide in them a little more because you'll see, even though you went through some hardships or you went through some choices you made for yourself, they still stuck around. It is so hard for us to express our emotions that it leads to a lot of self-damage, meaning indulging in substances to where it's damaging our life, going out there and hurting people. Some people even take other people's lives because they have so much pent-up aggression, so much pent-up hurt that they don't even know who to express it to because everybody's coming from a point of judgment. We are here in this world right now to just love others. That is the way of the universe, is to love everybody. And it's okay that if somebody is doing something you don't totally agree with, you put up a boundary and say, hey, look, that's okay if you want to do what you want to do. But me, on the other hand, I cannot allow you to keep doing that in my presence. And at some point, if they really love and care about you, they will make adjustments. But also at the same time, make it comfortable for them to be able to express their hurt and be able to express their feelings and what they feel. Because everybody's on a different level. Let me give you an example, right? When I first got out of prison, I did a year at my grandmother's and then she kicked me out, right? And I know all y'all can relate to this story because it's a lot of people who get kicked out at any point in time. Kicked me out and I had to go stay in a motel for 5 months, right? With my daughter. That bothered me a lot because that was not the route I wanted to take. that's not the direction I wanted to go. I wanted her to be okay with me being able to stay at her house until I was financially able to get my own apartment. I had already stacked up and had some stuff in storage that was bought, that other people bought for me, with the direction of eventually getting my own spot, because I am grown and I can make my own choices. But the fact that it was a road bump put in my path, I was completely in disarray that I had to go stay at this hotel for these 5 months with my daughter. I did not want to be there. I did not like being in a hotel. I was upset. I was hurt. I was mad because I was on the right path to creating my future, but I was taking a little longer than maybe other people took. I'm going my own direction. I can't speed up or go any faster than where I'm going towards. You know what I'm saying? So I was just in disarray. Nobody will ever know how I was feeling because I didn't have the right people that I could talk to about the situation. Because a lot of people come from a place of judgment. Oh, you in a hotel? Oh, what's going on? You don't got your own spot? Oh, what's taking you so long? Da 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 da. So it makes you go in your shell. And I'm a Cancer, so I'm definitely going to go in my shell. But then what happens is you start secretly doing things to deal with that level of pain. So let me tell you what happened to me, because God was basically spanking me on the ass and telling me that's not the right thing to do. So one day I went to somebody's house that was selling Xanax, and I bought 5 bars, right? And I would take a half a bar just to get out my brain because I didn't like my situation. Going back to the hotel, my car broke down on the freeway. Little things like that of the universe basically is telling you something you're doing is not right or adding up. And mind you, I had people that was willing to help, but I also had my daughter in the car. Went to this person's house. They came to the car and I got out. So she didn't know what was going on. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, I know why the car broke down. Because I basically went to go get something that I know wasn't healthy for me or my situation and what I was going through. I was on parole. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot going for myself that I didn't want to lose. But because I didn't want to deal with the pain and the hurt, and I didn't have nobody to talk to about what I was feeling, because everybody was going to judge me, especially fresh out of prison, I snuck and did what I felt best was for myself. I wasn't there yet. I couldn't completely balance out what I was feeling yet. Now, I don't encourage drugs or alcohol or nothing that alters your mind. I'm not one of those type of people. But I will admit that I have had a life of not being able to deal with my mind and going to substances. Nobody ever knew that. This is the first time me expressing that. Because that was something I was secretly doing because I wasn't there yet to be able to process my emotions, right? And so the person I was with at the time knew the signs and had a background of also drug abuse in their family. So eventually that person caught on to what I was doing, because every time I came back to the hotel, I was always tired. I didn't want to be up. I didn't want to engage. I took the right steps to go through my purse and put me on the spot. Now, because it's a lot of people that have past that relate to that, or they have triggers that relate to that still makes them upset, they're either going to get physically abusive, they're either going to get verbally abusive because they have yet dealt with their triggers related to that. But me personally, I reversed it in my mind, and I took it as, you know what, I'm in a relationship with this person, they really care about me, I'm going to stop. Not only were they verbally abusing me, but some of the things they were saying was true. You got a lot on the line. You trying to get your daughter back. What is you doing? You know what I'm saying? I was hiding it. So I was still going to work. I was still doing what I had to do. But when I got back to the hotel and the realization and the light clicked on, like, damn, I really don't want to be here, I would go in the bathroom and I would do what I do. A lot of people in life are very enlightened to those triggers, because we have grown up in a society where a lot of us have substance abuse issues and problems because we can't control our mind. If people stop judging people so much and come from a level of understanding and know that we all fall short at some point, people will be more open to talking and releasing what is making them feel where they have to feel like they got to do substances. But everybody's in a state of judgment. Everybody's in a state of, oh, you ain't gonna like me if I tell you this. You not gonna rock with me if I tell you this. You gonna put me down if I tell you this. It's time for us to put the love back in the world and start showing people nobody is perfect. We've all fell short at some point. You feel me? And I think that will make it easier for people to understand, okay, you dealing with this feeling and it's related to a toxic experience you experienced as childhood, and it's got you so upset that you feel like you want to go out and hurt somebody? No. Let me help. Listen, let me help you. And everybody's in this world where it's like, oh, family over nothing. We don't have no friends. Listen, let me tell you something. Family, I'm big as fuck on it. Real shit. But at the same time, I have also came around others and friends that have taught me things that my family couldn't. We are all trying to live in this world as a society. So don't be closed off to somebody else trying to show you a different way to solve a problem. You know what I'm saying? And that person, even though it was coming from a level of a trigger they had in their past, it woke me up like, listen, you do got a lot on the line. Stop doing that. You can make it through this. You'll be all right. And so I stopped. You know what I'm saying? But if we relate and understand from a level of not trying to judge nobody, because nobody is perfect. Everybody has hidden demons. Everybody has hidden things they have done. And the reason why they probably never expressed it to nobody is because they're scared and petrified of judgment. Steady trying to please other people. Steady trying to make other people happy. When in reality, all you got to do is make yourself happy. People might not like you for certain things, and that's because they're coming from either a hurt place. But a person that really loves you for who you are, yes, they might tell you, look, that ain't cool. You need to stop doing that. But that's because they really love you and they don't want to see you hurt. They don't want to see you, leave off this earth. So they're trying to give you some wisdom. But at the same time, they can also have boundaries if they feel like it's getting too excessive. Or they might, you feel me, actually hit it off and be like, you know what? It was a time where I went through the same thing. I wasn't exactly there yet. And I had to go through that period too. I hope you get through it. And I'm open for you to talk to me. So you could be able to feel like you're not alone. A lot of people feel like everything they have went through in their life is only related to them. Open your eyes and went out into the world. It is a million people out there who have went through the same similar situations we all have been through, but we become closed off and sheltered. It's a lot of people I know that don't even go outside. They don't interact with people. They don't say hi to nobody because they're constantly afraid of fear and judgment and abandonment for being who they are or going through the struggles that they have been through. Mental health, serial killers, all those things lead up to just one simple tweak of you being able to be around people that are loyal to you as a person, and you can express what you're feeling. And yeah, it's going to be hard. And yeah, you might be out kicking it with them at a party or something to take a shot, and then you feel comfortable to release. It's not easy releasing your emotions. It's really not. But the way of the world is to make people feel comfortable to be able to talk to you, if you rock with them like that, about something they're feeling in the inside and reason why they may not be at the speed that you're expecting them to be at. We're all on different levels. You know what I'm saying? Another situation I had was back in like 2015. I had a good job at Home Depot, right? And I know y'all can't relate, but I was smoking weed, and I love women. I'm not gonna front, I'm not sugarcoat. I'm perfectly okay with myself. If you don't like it because I'm being too honest and I love myself, you can log off right now. I really don't give a damn. But I love women. And so I was dating a woman, and I had a good job at Home Depot, and I decided to get a hotel, right? We was into all types of stuff, but the Xannies that day. I took a Xanny, I fell asleep, and I missed my time. I had to go to work. So that next day, they let me go into work, but what happened was they let me go. And that was the only thing that was holding me up at that time. All I had was that job. My grandma had kicked me out. I didn't really have too many people I can confide in. So the job was the only thing to hold me up. So once that happened, I got into a complete downward spiral. I didn't give a damn about nothing. I was hurt. I was confused. I was trying to figure out, which direction I'm going to go now. That was a good ass job. You know what I'm saying? A little thing of Xanax. And my intention in my mind, I was like, you know what? I'm about to go sell these. But what I really was going to do is I popped 3. And I took a shower. And this is my play sister. She, you feel me, told me the real that day. I'll never forget. Completely blacked out. Soul completely left my body. I had no idea, no recollection of what was going on, what I was doing. Ended up spilling the whole bottle of Xanax on the bathroom floor. And I was at my play sister's house with her and her son and her mom and her brother, etc., etc. Her son was little at the time. Let me tell you, this woman cussed my ass out real bad. And we still friends to this day. She supported me in jail, wrote me letters like, this really my dog for real. You know what I'm saying? But she cussed my ass out that day. She was like, listen, I'm done with your shit. I'm upset and I'm mad. And listen, my son is in here. If he would have took these pills unknowingly, not knowing what it was, he could have been in danger. And at the time, I looked at it like, man, you know what? Fuck you. You talking that shit. But as I replayed it back, she was right. Because if I was in her shoes and my child was there and someone was doing that and they blacked out and threw them all over the floor and my daughter was little and could have popped one, man, I'd have been on that ass too. The way you think about things, it's the way you perceive them. I don't knock her. I'm not mad at her. I'm not upset at her. I needed somebody to tell me, you fucking up really bad. And you making all types of mistakes due to you not being able to express or put your feelings on the front line. You putting everybody else in danger. As time went on, I replayed the situation. I'm like, listen, I'm happy that I had somebody like that in my life to be able to tell me where I was fucking up and doing damage. And I don't know what it is, but Xanax is the type of drug that makes you go to sleep. It's the type of person in my substance abuse addiction that like to go to sleep. I didn't want to be up all night show. I want to lay down and go to bed because life is just beating me over the ass and I'm tired. You know? For that reason, I always manage to, as we call them, mess with downers. Just say right now that in this day and age, if we become more open out judgment and understanding people that you really rock with and understand that everybody's not going to be at the same level at the same time. Or it was one point in your life where you were doing something you knew wasn't cool for you, but you didn't want to be judged. So you hid it. You made it seem like it wasn't true. When in reality, people know what was really going on. And even if they didn't, you knew what was really going on. We have to be able to bring the love back in the world. Stop looking at people like they are strange and different because they're not at the level of life that you are. Everybody is not the same. And the moment we start understanding that, we could stop a lot of murders. We could stop a lot of kidnappings. We could stop a lot of verbal abuse. We could stop a lot of physical abuse. Because people will be having the right people around them that's loyal to them. Every soul in this world is lovable. They just went through some things. When we all got into our mom's bellies, we were happy, nice, pretty souls. It's just the damage and the baggage that we go through in life that has people coming from a place of judgment. Stop judging and having level of understanding. Therefore, we could prevent a lot of things that are going on in this world. Me, I will never let somebody tell me about another person without getting my own experience first. I'm not going to listen to you. I might even hear you, but I'm going to deal with that person on my own to get my own level of understanding. So whatever you have said about this person, whatever you said to try to put this person down, I don't care about none of that. I'm going to get my own experience. People put into their ear or tell them about another person, and that discourages them from even saying hi. Get your own level of understanding. And or you're around healthy people that love you for you, it becomes more comfortable for you to admit that you're not having a good day today. That you are not there yet today. You are still struggling in some area of your life. And if they really love you for you, they will completely understand. Now, depending on what you're doing and how much love they have for you, they can put up boundaries. Don't take that as neglect. Don't take that as abandonment. Take that as somebody who loves you enough to tell you what you're doing is damaging you. And eventually you'll wander off and go do whatever it is that you do and become so solved inside of yourself and become alone that you'll start to replay what they said. Everybody needs somebody. Nobody wants to die alone, man. I don't care who you are. Nobody does. This is Deidre with One Shot Game, and if I ain't told you something, I told you something today. Stop judging people. If you love them for who they are, not for what they can do for you. At the same level you are, you're gonna judge. And that makes people go into their shells, and then we're just all fucked up as a community, as a whole, and as a whole entire world. Today is the day. Let's start something new.